Hey there, happy day 700 and, I have to look again, 764. I wanted to say 54, but I knew that wasn't right. 764 of What You Up To Now. Bed of Roses or Game of Thorns? That's my question for you today. That's my question that I'm asking myself today. Just doing a quick piece on Supersize Your Business about Bed of Roses and the origin of that idiom. And of course, it reminds me, we get what we expect, we create what we want in life based on our thoughts, our feelings, our beliefs, and our experiences in the past, and what we bring forth and how we act now based on those things, and what future we create for ourselves. And are you creating an easy, comfortable, awesome life for yourself, or are you creating a game of thorns, a bunch of problems and challenges and difficulties and situations that you don't want to be experiencing? I help people to grow and build and supersize their businesses, and in the past I did the same thing, which is probably how I can help them. Sometimes there'd be a problem in my business, and instead of just solving that problem the first time and looking at it and not getting upset about it, I would of course get upset about it, focusing on the thorn, right? Focusing on the problem instead of focusing on the solution, which would be like the petals of a flower, right? If I'm focusing on the solution, then I'm eliminating the problem, I'm eliminating the power of the thorns, and things feel a lot better and go a lot more smoothly. If I am, and I used to commiserate sometimes for days over the problem, and as long as I was focusing and thinking about the problem, I wasn't even open to seeing solutions. And there were problems that I focused on for days that were like an easy fix. As soon as I shut off my brain commiserating and saying, ain't it awful, and feeling like a victim and, oh, this problem is the worst problem in the whole wide world, as soon as I would stop that and ask myself, well, what's possible? What could be possible besides what I'm experiencing right now? As soon as I would ask that question and open the door, all kinds of things that I wasn't even letting myself see would appear. Solutions to problems. That's why I always encourage people, including myself, whenever there's a problem, instead of focusing on the problem, I hop into, as quickly as I can get myself to do it, well, what's possible? Yep, this is what is right now, and this is why I think it isn't right, but what can I do about it? How can I respond to it? What else is possible? One of my favorite questions is, what else is possible? And another one, of course, is, what am I creating now? So what else is possible? What am I creating now? What else is possible is all about being open to solutions, right? Open to other ways of doing things, other ways of thinking, other possibilities, because there's infinite possibilities. So often when we have a problem or a challenge, we think of it as either black and white. Either I do this or I do that. I either do A or B. I either stay married in this difficult situation, or I get divorced and I'm miserable. Really? And lonely for the rest of my life. Is that really your only two options with respect to relationships? Probably not, right? Probably not. But if you're in a difficult situation and all you're looking at is the problems in that situation, it's really, really hard to open yourself up to and think about or even believe that anything else is possible. So Bed of Roses or a life and a game of thorns. We kind of get to choose, but a lot of times we don't think we do. A lot of times it doesn't feel like we can choose, but it's a lie, right? It's always a lie, because we always have the ability to choose. We at least always have the ability to choose what we think. We always have the ability to choose how we're going to respond to something. So I think it's probably not a very popular opinion, but we all get to create the life that we want, and we get to decide, even though it doesn't always feel like we get to decide and choose whether it's going to be a bed of roses or a game of thorns. And with that power comes great responsibility, right? We have to stop blaming other people for the situations and our life. We have to stop feeling like we're a victim and that we don't have any control over anything. We have to, take back our personal power and say, I felt like that in the past. I mean, I'm the first to admit that in the past I have felt like a victim. I have felt like the world was against me. I have felt like every way I turned, I was running up against a brick wall. And mostly that wall was created by me looking in the wrong direction, going in the wrong direction, trying to fit round pegs in square holes, or square pegs in round holes, and it didn't need to be that way. But for some reason, whatever reasons, I felt at the time it had to be that way. I had to make this work. I had to make that work. This is the only way possible to do anything. When is the last time that there was only, absolutely only in the entire universe, only one way to do anything? I don't think there ever is, right? I don't think that we could think of a situation where there's absolutely positively only one way to do something, one way to get a result that we want, right? But how often have we felt that way? How often have we felt boxed in and like, either I do this or my life is over, right? I either change this or my life is over. we think as humans so much in absolutes, and it's funny because almost nothing in the universe is absolute, right? Almost nothing. I mean, there's a few things in the universe that are absolute. Gravity is gravity, right? Gravity is a physical law. You can pretend it doesn't exist. You can believe it doesn't exist. You can think it doesn't apply to you, but guess what? It absolutely totally does. If you jump off a building, you're probably going to die, or you at least hurt yourself, because gravity is going to affect you just like every other thing on this planet. So, you know, there is a level of, you can take some of this stuff to the nonsense level and you know, stupidity level, but why would you do that? We wouldn't do that, right? So I'm thinking about beds of roses and the lives we create, the life I create, because guess what? Everything in my life ain't perfect. Do I wish it was? Yes. No, I don't. Because I actually, that's really interesting. I really don't. Because think how boring life would be if your life was actually perfect. What happens when we have challenges and when we have problems and situations and things we need to deal with? That's what causes us to change and grow. I firmly believe that challenge creates change. Pain, as much as we don't want to be in pain, creates change. How often, when everything's going smoothly in our life and everything's hunky-dory, do we actually change or do anything different? We don't. We stay the same. We just maintain the status quo when we feel like things are going well. It's only when a problem or a challenge or an obstacle or a situation comes up, or when we get a big desire of something new and different that we want, and that's when the obstacles show up, right? That's right between where you are right now and what you ultimately want right now, because that's going to change over time. What are some of the obstacles that pop up? And here's the really interesting thing. The vast majority of people, and me included at times, will not actually decide and choose what we want, because we know subconsciously that as soon as we say, I want to create $1 million business, I want a new car, all of the reasons why, all of the obstacles, all of the objections, all of the stuff that would prevent us from having that thing right now, because if we didn't have all this stuff, we'd already have that thing, right? It would already be in our life. All those things pop up, and then guess what? Now we know if we really want that thing, we have to deal with all those little obstacles and steps that are between us and the thing we want. And it's hard, right? Do we want to do things that are hard? Pretty much as humans, we want to lead a cushy existence, a comfortable existence. We don't want to step out of our comfort zone. We want to live in our little box and just do what we do every day and be happy, right? And it's when we get that desire for something outside of our comfort zone that we see that, well, if we were the person that could have that, we would already have that. And who do we need to become? What do we need to do? How do we need to grow? How do we need to think? What habits do we need to have to actually have that thing that we want, or the thing that we say that we want? And so people don't have to set themselves up for that frustration and failure of not having it yet, because we all want it right now, right? When we decide we want something, we don't want it 10 years from now. We don't want it a year from now. We want it right now. We want that new house right now. We want that new car right now. We want that new $1,000 outfit right now, right? I know, ridiculous. And the tension between what we want and not having it, some people, it pulls them toward that thing, and they're willing to step out of their comfort zone and grow and develop and change and do and become what they need to become. But a lot of the time we decide, hey, it's not worth it. It's not worth all the effort that I'm gonna have to put into to get that thing. And maybe it's just not worth the effort right now. And it just goes in your back burner, it goes into your bucket list, or your, I want to do this, or I want to have this, or I want to be this someday. And you'll choose to work on it later. Maybe not. Maybe you'll just put it in that list and it'll die with you, because that happens too. And it's up to us. And knowing that it's up to us makes it more challenging. It makes it more challenging for most of us, because we know that if we don't have something, it's not because we don't deserve it. It's not because we don't want it. It's because we are afraid of, and I know that sounds scary to have to admit that we're afraid of something. We're afraid of what we have to do. We're afraid of the work and the effort that we have to put in order to get the thing that we want. So it's weird, but that's what I'm thinking about this morning. Challenges, as we're speaking of challenges, the live challenge workshop is beginning March 23rd. It's a free 5-day workshop. It'll actually be 10 days with bonuses, but 5 days of how to create and use the number one, hands down, free strategy to bring all of the customers and clients, and I'm talking the best customers and clients, your ideal customers and clients, to you for free. Now, when I say free, I mean you can, but you don't have to ever do any paid advertising or anything to it. Free does not mean you don't have to put any time and energy and resources into it, right? You at least have to put in time and energy. Nothing, I'm sorry people, in the universe and on the planet, in the world, is absolutely free. You're either going to invest your time, your energy, your money, your other resources, your intelligence, whatever. You're going to put something into something to get something out. Life is an exchange of value. Everything is energy, and you have to put energy into something to get energy out. You have to put resources into something to get money out. Money is just energy, right? So, working on that. I'm thinking I have to count how many days it is until, I think it's 20. Today's the 2nd, so it's 21. So I'm thinking either today or tomorrow, I might start doing a countdown to the challenge. I haven't decided, and I haven't decided actually what I would do if I do a countdown to the challenge, but I might do, I just am thinking this up right now, I might do a countdown to the challenge, and maybe it's the 21 biggest lessons I've learned about attracting people to my business. I don't know. I'm brainstorming. I'm not even brainstorming. I'm just spitballing. But something like that. Maybe I'll do a 21-day countdown to the number one result that people want, right? To get into the challenge. And then the challenge will start on the 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th. I'll do live at noon Eastern, which is 11 o'clock my time. And I am not secretly, doing it at that time because it's an hour before my granddaughter comes home from school, and she hangs out with me every day. Awesome, lucky me. And so that gives me an hour of quiet to actually present the material and do it live, answer some questions, and not be interrupted. Now, I guarantee there's still going to be dogs in the background, probably. My life is extremely hectic, and it involves, during weekdays, 3 dogs, varying ages, and a 4-year-old child, in addition to everything else that's going on. And you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way. There's something about hanging out with a toddler, as much as it's kind of a rose and thorn thing, right? As much as I would think back to when I was raising my kids, I focused way more on the thorn than on the rose and the incredible beings that they are. And now, the fun thing about my granddaughter is I focus on the rose that she is, and I almost never focus on the thorn, the little tantrums, the little misbehaviors, the why, the the I don't want to, the I want to watch Barbie 8 times in a row, or whatever it might be. Or right now it's YouTube videos. She watches the same YouTube videos, and if it's got to do with unicorns, slime, or Play-Doh princesses or mermaids, she's all in. So I think I've had a lifetime of those type videos in just this last few months. So, Bed of Roses, make sure you're focusing on the solutions. Make sure you're looking at least once a day what's working in your life, what's working in your business, what's working in your relationships, what's working in your health. So often, I am so guilty of this with respect to my health. I I don't know why, and I still fall into the trap of focusing on what is right now, but mostly what is wrong right now when it comes to my my exercise level, my eating, my health, diet, exercise, physical well-being, stamina, energy. I don't know why, and I'm going to work on that in the next month or so. Really just getting rid of that negative aspect. And I could make excuses and reasons for it, but I consciously know that it is the exact opposite of what I need to do to always have optimum health. And yet I will every once in a while, every year, not even every year, but every once in a while, I get sucked into this negative vortex of not looking at the right things with respect to my health. I slip into some bad habits that I haven't had for a long time. And, I need to address those and take care of those. But instead of just focusing on the solution, sometimes I beat myself up for, well, how did I fall off the wagon with respect to drinking my enough water every day? How did I stop moving enough every day? Things like that. So instead of beating ourselves up about what we're not doing, we need to focus on what's right, what we are doing, and create more of that. All right, that's it. If I can help you anyway, hit me up in the comments below. Otherwise, I'm going to sip my coffee, process my videos, work on my challenge, and have an awesome day. An awesome Monday, actually. It's Monday. And I wish you the same.